had you look at some drone footage of this impressive building. It has been urban explored many times, but in this one you will see certain areas that have never been urban explored. A boarding school between 1956 and 1996, and then up until 2016 it was an Islamic school, but was then put up for sale. Bought by a local businessman with plans to convert it to an old people's residential home, and throughout the vlog you will see certain parts of the building has been converted. It was then put up for sale for a minimum auction bid of £950,000, but remains unsold. Unfortunately, you will see how much weather and vandalism damage has occurred over the years. And a dark past for this one. It has links to one of the terrorists who killed Army soldier Lee Rigby. In this one you will see the caretaker's house, the caretaker's shed, and we venture into the huge basement underneath the mansion itself, and then we take you to the tunnels of doom. Welcome back to Nick at Nova Adventures. Something different for this one. We are in the heart of West Wales. The difference for this one is I don't have Nova with me and I'm not alone. So 2 weeks ago we came here but didn't bring the GoPro to do any filming, so that's what we're going to do today. Bit of an urban explore. Here we are, been chauffeur driven in my Seat Leon, which my daughter Jess has permanently borrowed. So this is a mansion in the heart of West Wales. It was turned into a boarding school, and in its most recent life it was a school for the Islamic and Arabic culture and language. It's been closed for some time now. There was a plan to turn it into a residential old people's home, but due to asbestos and other constraints, the work has stopped for some time. It has been explored by many people on YouTube, so you might see this one about. And we're not breaking in, we're jumping over a fence, and we won't commit any criminal damage or aggravated trespass. So if we get told to move, get off the site, that's what we do. Right, so we're coming up to the entrance of this one. And you can see walking in front of me, that's Jessica, and when she was a baby we used to call her Nunu, because she used to love watching the Teletubbies. Anyway, here we are at the gates of this mansion. We're not going to track up the lane, we're going to go across the field. We've come in the opposite side to what I came in last time, because Jess pointed out there was a security camera. Here you see the former tennis courts and sports ground, and that's where we're going. It is a bit rainy here today, but we are in and it is very quiet. Right, let's get in.
Flowers are fresh and they're fake.
That's where we've entered this house. I think this would have been the caretaker's house, relatively speaking, in fairly good condition, bar the mess on the floor. Come on Jess, get in, watch your head on the glass. So Jess has only been here at night, she's not been here during the day. She's come twice, and again this is full of Islamic stuff. We will venture upstairs. There's the front door there, which isn't unlocked. Ah, look at that. Cleaning. Tuesday, Saturday and Monday. I don't think so. Locked. That door's locked. Just hope there's nobody in there. So here we go, up the stairs. Be careful just in case there are damaged floorboards. There is one bedroom there. All seem to be solid. And go through into another bedroom. It just looks like this place was left in a major hurry because there is bits of furniture, bits of clothes. And there we are. Into the bathroom. Oh, look at that. Okay, right, let's go and see where Jess is, shall we? So we have ventured from that side of the house. And I think we will land up where we had that locked door. Ooh, here we are. We have a modern kitchen with my mate Daz. There he is. And a bit of a phone. Hi, how you doing? Sorry I couldn't get through. So yeah, this is the other half where we couldn't get in. Again, another bed, so dormitory style, even downstairs. A desk where they would have done their homework or their Islamic work. And just found a recycling document. There's another one there.
There's another one here as well.
And another one that over there by the name of Mr. Moon. Okay, what's through here? Oh, right, this is what you can see from the outside. A small rear porch or conservatory.
Oh God.
Another kitchen. Oh my God. Wow.
Very clean.
And that is the door that was locked from the other side. What food have we got in here? We got some J1 seeds in there. There's a gram flour. All the stuff you need for baking. Some red lentils up there. And nothing to cook on. So just to prove to you lot we don't break in, there is an open door with nothing in it, and that is our way in to the main building. There you have it. This is or would have been the front door to the mansion and the school itself. You would come in here and then you would be greeted by this massive open hallway, and if you look there you have 4 substantial marble pillars holding up the wall above, and then the fire would have been lit and would have been roaring away. Just look at that. It gives you the opulence of the mansion as it would have been. And this is the money shot that you'll see on every UrbanExplor, is that. Amazing detail. That staircase is what, 3.5 meters wide, and then the detail on the ceiling as we pan over my head. Wow, it's a shame that this can't be or is unlikely to be saved. And we will go out there later. I think there is a garden patch just down in the garden down there. We didn't get to that a couple of weeks ago. And then you can just see the detailing on these door frames. And then into what would have been the dining hall. The kitchen is through there. Massive kitchen. Be careful of the floor because the floorboards have come up. And the unusual thing about these floorboards is they're tongue and groove, but they're very slender profile boards. You normally see the very wide boards in these type of houses. And again, the grandeur of the place. A bay window with these twisted timber pillars. Wow. Into the assembly hall now, and another master shot you'll see on other vlogs is the stage. And there it is, depicting Arabic Islamic buildings. There we are. what a stage. They would have done their assemblies or their concerts from here. So glad we've got the vlogging camera with us for this one, and Jess gets to see it in the day as well. So there they would have been on the stage, there would have been their audience in there. And a shame it's not listed, although it dates back to 1777. All the front windows have been changed for modern UPVC units, which in my opinion is not very good. Anyway, we are heading to the other place you'll see on UrbanExplor vlogs. This does have a swimming pool, so that's where we will see you next. Right, anybody fancy a swim? I doubt it if you'd fancy a swim in here. This is the swimming pool, or what would have been the swimming pool. And there is the boiler room. And the massive extract duct above your heads there. And if you come into here, get the widest view we can. In the day this would have been absolutely amazing. You can see around the edges there would have been slatted seats for people to sit on here, and this whole structure is fiberglass, and you'll see some other photos of that I've taken in a wider view. And then obviously down to the end you've got the pool cover right there, and the end of the pool is open that side. Wow, not a deep pool, but you know, amazing. We won't go out there, there's nothing out there at all. So yeah, fiberglass. It's looking a bit past its sell-by date. Not sure when the pool was actually installed, so we are walking on the edge of the pool. And back in the day, there would not have been anything for disabled. So the only way you would have got down into the pool, shall we do it? Let's do it. Would have been down these steps. Oh, yeah, they are a little bit wobbly. Oh. And there we are in the pit of the pool. You wouldn't want to go for a swim in that. And this is where you have to be somewhat careful. The floor is totally collapsed in that section. And again, you can see, you know, you've got a decorative rail here, you know, paper, wallpaper here, and then another rail up there. And the ceiling in this room is absolutely incredible. The detail on that. And it's a shame you've got water coming in down that wall there. And you can just imagine how much money you would have to spend to get this back to any shape that you could do anything with. And there we are. I know the Urban Explorers like a little bit of flaky paint. And just look at the blinds for the windows, the boarded blinds. The detail on that again is amazing. Wow, coming for the second time is totally worth it. Look at that. There's a ceiling that's been put at that level, as you see, with modern timber and steel beams. But beyond that would have been that massive light well lantern. And that would have been the original ceiling to the room. You would have walked in with a 2.5 story ceiling. And then if we look through this window here, we are heading over that way now. That's where the church would have been. And these little bits here are all add-ons. Oh my God. This, I don't think, has ever been put on to UrbanExplor vlogs. We have come across, I will show you as we go out across the door there. We've left Jess down on the floor below because she's not wanting to climb over open floorboards, but oh my God, the wait was certainly worth it. Look at that timber work up there. absolutely amazing. Tie rod coming down from the top down to that beam, that cross beam, and then another tie rod coming across there at every A-frame. You can see this has started to be studded out for rooms, but the amazing part of this, oh my god, look at this, people. This is one of the turrets on the end of the original mansion, and there's room up there as well, and it goes all the way down there, so it's symmetrical as it would have been. A big central window. I have to be careful where I am standing, of course, so that big central window with the big stone pillars between. And if we can get over to this side, replicated, mirrored. Wow, we can get in down there, look, there's a door to the outside. Oh my god, what a place, what a space. Okay, that's going to be that part of it. I'm just going to show you then when we get out of here where we cross to get there. And looking over, this is the front of the building. Yep, looking down the valley. Wow. So that's where we climbed up, where Jess is on the stairs. From there, up there. We came here before, but I didn't dare cross this, but I did this time, and you'll see the outcome of going through that door on that elevation. Okay, more to go. This place is absolutely enormous. So we've come up a level now, and look at that. It absolutely stinks. There's the old ceiling, and look at all those missing roof slates. And the building is only getting worse and worse, unless it's going to be covered, but I think it's gone a bit too far past any economical repair, which is a crying shame. So the doors, these would have been the original doors, look, and then painted, and we are going to go through that way now. Coming up a level now. We were down there earlier on with the fireplace and the marble pillars and the front door, and we've taken a photo of this staircase and landing area. Wow. And a close-up of the ceiling. We are heading through that door very shortly, and then there is the staircase leading down to the ground floor. You can just see how wide that staircase is. Right, still more to go. Jess was telling me about a basement, and was the reason why I decided to come back, and we have found the basement. We don't know what we're going to find down here.
Hopefully nothing.
But the basement is massive. So I'm not sure what this would have been. It kind of looks like some kind of bath, because you've got the green tiles sitting there, look. They're normally associated with baths. And then there's been some remedial work of a block, modern block wall, and a modern block pillar there. Right, okay, Jess has got a head torch on. Oh, it's so cool down here, as in temperature wise.
Stones.
And we came in from there, and look at the size of that cable. Wow. Woo. You don't want to be touching that. Right, okay, let's go. And to be honest, it's fairly dry for a basement. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What do you think, Jess? Was this where you came?
Yeah, definitely.
So Jess came in here when it was pitch black, and you can see why she would have cut herself. It's crazy. Right, okay.
So this must have been what I was saying. It's the floor squidgy. Because I said it was squidgy, didn't I?
Okay, right, let's go. Wow. Again, it just goes on and on and on. Now I think this would have been a storeroom, maybe for meat and produce, because it is very cold down here. A lot cooler than it is upstairs. So this would have been probably their fridge, believe it or not. And yep, there we are. There's the evidence of it. Look, there is a meat hook. So my assumptions this time were right. Some original blend pure ground coffee from Lyons. I bet you that doesn't exist anymore. And some of these, I'll take some photos of that glass jar. There are a couple of glass jars around here. And then up here, more. Wow. History in a bygone era. We are standing on the first floor balcony there, and this is, the weather has cleared, and look at that, 3 palm trees there, and the view from this would have been absolutely stunning. It is today and it would have been back then. Alright, we're nearly at the end of this one. We're going to try and get out now and get just down to these steps, and along this modern rail along here there are some openings. I'm not sure if we can get in there, but that's where we're headed next. Right, before we go to the outside, I'm just going to take you up this incredible staircase. I'm not an urban explorer by nature. As you know, it is a camping channel with the odd stealth, well, very lots of stealth camps. And we have recently come to do a couple of urban explores as well. So with me it is more that you get in these places and you video them, you photograph them, just to retain what they would have looked like, albeit not in a great condition. But if this was ever to be knocked down, then there would be a digital log of what was here. Alright, we're going to go through the window now and venture outside. There we go. Right, Jess is halfway through the window now, look. Here we go. Alrighty, so when I met this urban explorer a couple of weeks ago, he told me about some tunnels, and I knew there were like a tunnel at the bottom of the house, and there's looks almost like coal. So whether, oh my god, wow, we're not going to get in there, but
We'll have a look.
we'll have a look. Yeah, and there's these, like, would have been holes to the outside. There we are, you can see one there. And then, oh my god! Shit, Jess!
What? Oh my god.
Fuck! We haven't got a clue where we're heading. We just know we're heading towards the house. So we are under the roadway and it's getting smaller. The ceiling's getting lower. Oh my god, guys, you never get to see this on a vlog. And I think unless this turns right, it opens up. No, that is the end of this one. Right, I'm going to get out of here because that is a bit sketchy up there. Oh. Jess is down the bottom there. Oh, that was my head. It's hard to hold a torch and to point the camera at the same time. Right, we're going to go and walk to the others, and you'll join me when we get to those passages. And there's another entrance to the outside there. all covered in brambles, and we came in from down there. If I have my timings right, this should be the last part of the vlog. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It was definitely worth coming back a second time. Something that I don't do very often, but just wanted to come back in the day, so I said, yeah, why not? So anyway, this looks like a caretaker's or a handyman shed. And some old workbenches over there. And then we came in and Jess was laughing because there's a Christmas tree on the floor down by there. Look, modern Christmas tree. And a bit of brown ale, anyone? Lovely. Anyway, this is a tractor. And I'm not sure what make it is, but it is model number 4451. Can we tell what make it is? I was going to say it might be a Massey. So anyway, worth a few bunts that if it's done up. So yeah, there we are. End of the vlog. We end up with a tractor. There are, by the way, I might as well show you this as we're going through. There are cookers. There are gas fires. There are cabinets. There's the odd bike or two. Cupboard full of gubbins in there. And we have found some shit. We have found some disabled wheelchairs there. And I think we found the make of the tractor is Seki. Never heard of it. Anyway, let's go. Our time in rural West Wales is over. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Do all the usual things, don't cost you any money. And that's it. Nick and Jess over there signing out. See you on the next one.